Hey, what's going on YouTube? Back with another video today. Today we're going to be doing a tutorial. Now, this is one of the most simplest vape tricks that you would probably learn. There are two vape tricks which I would say are the beginning stepping stones to getting into vape tricks and stuff like that. And that will be the Ghost and the French Inhale. Now, today we're going to be learning the French Inhale, and then on a later video I'll do a tutorial on the Ghost, and we'll get further and further into it, like pushing O's, like doing your O's and stuff like that. Other tricks like doing the tornadoes and jellyfish and spamming O's and other things like that. But for right now, we're just going to be learning the French Inhale. Now, with this vape trick, just as your other vape trick, the Ghost, you want to be taking in a mouth hit. Now, for those of you who don't understand and you're new to vaping and stuff like that and are trying to learn tricks, a mouth hit is when you only inhale the vapor into your mouth. You don't inhale it into your lungs. Most devices where you're pressing a button, you just have to apply the littlest amount of suction to get it into your mouth, and you kind of want to close off your throat. That way it's not going into your lungs. Lung hit is basically when you're just inhaling the whole time, you're taking it all in into your lungs and then exhaling. So for this vape trick, you do want to do a mouth hit. It's hard with a lung hit, and I'll show you how to do it with a lung hit. But for right now, I want to teach you guys how to do it with just the mouth hit. That's the simplest way to do it. Before we get into it, I'm smoking on the Ripe Juice, 3 milligrams of nicotine. It is a tropical strawberry, and I will be using the VGod ProMech 2. I'm absolutely in love with this device. I have a review, and I'll put that in the description if you want to go check that out. And we are also going to be using the Juul, just because I want to show you that these are the simplest vape tricks that you're going to be doing, and it can be done with any device. Alright, so now, like what I said, you want to be taking in a mouth hit. Now, a mouth hit is going to look something like this. You see? There was no vapor in my lungs. It was all strictly just my mouth. My dog. So now, when you're taking the mouth hit, what you want to do, because since you're not using any of your lung capacity to inhale the vapor, really, because you're closing off your throat to where you're not really using your lungs. You're just using your mouth muscles to provide that suction to get the vapor into your mouth. So what you're going to want to do is, once you get the vapor into your mouth, you're going to want to slowly push out the vapor with your tongue. So it'll look something like this. You want to get it basically as slow as you possibly can, pushing the vapor out, because once you get really into it and you get the basic part of it down and you can get it slow, you can start doing it a lot faster and start doing other things with it. So once you're doing that, at the same time you're pushing your tongue out to release the vapor out of your mouth. You don't want to blow any air out, because then it's going to come out too fast and you won't be able to do the second part to it, which actually forms the inhale. So you want to use your tongue to push it out, and while you're doing that, you want to inhale with your nose. So, and when you're doing it, you don't want to go, like, you don't want to do it real fast. It's just kind of a simple, like, you're breathing in. Like, just everyday normal breathing in, because if you're doing it too fast, then it just gets, you're not pushing it out. You got to find the right balance between pushing your tongue out and inhaling. So, but when you start out, you want to do everything kind of slow. That way you can start getting the hang of it, and once you do, you can do it with more vapor, quicker, and other things like that. And you can get into other crazy stuff like the Bane inhale and stuff like that, which is basically using your teeth and your mouth to do multiple lines going up. But altogether, what you want to do, and I'll show you real quick what it looks like. Now, you see some of the smoke, when you're trying to do it slow, like when you've been doing it for a while like I have, going slow gets a little bit harder because the vapor sometimes comes out in different directions and doesn't go into your nostrils. But, I mean, all in all, it's a really simple trick. It takes a little bit to get used to it, especially with inhaling vapor through your nose. For anybody who doesn't smoke, anything like that, or just getting into vaping, it tends to kind of make your nose feel weird, I guess. But I mean, it takes a little bit to do it, but once you start doing it, it's really cool. It's a fun little thing to do at like parties or something like that, or just, you know, it's impressive. It looks cool, but and it's really simple. So like I said, you want to make sure that you're pushing your tongue out, and you got to find the right balance between pushing your tongue out and inhaling through your nose. Because once you really get into it, you can start doing other crazy things with it too. And it's a really simple thing to do. It just takes a little bit of practice, just like any of the vape tricks. Okay, now I'm going to show you guys how to do it with the Juul. And basically, I mean, it's the same concept, but basically I'm showing you guys that you can do it with any device. It is one of the simplest tricks to do. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and take a mouth hit, and then we're going to do it. Like I said, easy thing to do, real simple. You can do it with any device. Okay. Now another thing I like to do is when you've kind of got the gist of it down, another little cool thing to do is while you're doing it, kind of shake your head slowly, and what it'll do is the vapor, it'll go from one nostril to the other, and it'll just kind of move back and forth. It'll kind of look like this. It's not what it looked like because I forgot to press the button, and so I just got a bunch of fireworks. Like I said, it's a pretty simple trick. It's kind of like the first little stepping stone. It's like taking your first steps into the vape trick world. And like I said, this is one of the most simplest vape tricks that you're going to be learning. There's other things that, I mean, that get a little bit more complicated and are going to take a little bit more time to do. But this, honestly, it's fairly simple. You should pick it up pretty fast, just as long as you remember. Don't take a long hit until you're like really good at it. Which, here, reminds me, I'll show you guys what it looks like to take a long hit, but this isn't something you do until you are like fairly confident in your abilities to do it. Now when you're taking a long hit, what you basically want to do is you want to blow out some of the vapor, and then you want to close off your mouth and kind of make like a bubble, like exhale, but keep it all in your mouth. And what that'll do is basically it'll put the vapor into your mouth to where you can start doing it and start inhaling through your nose. So it'll look like this. It's a little harder. I'm still getting used to it, but it's a more advanced way to do it. And it makes it a lot denser, but it's also a lot harder because you're using a lot of your lung capacity to take the lung hit, and so therefore when you're blowing it out and then inhaling it, you don't have the full capacity like you would with a mouth hit. That's why when you're learning this trick, you want to learn with a mouth hit and not with a lung hit. Like I said, guys, one of the simplest vape tricks you're going to learn. Later on, I will do a tutorial on how to do the ghost. It may or may not be my next video, but if you guys want to go ahead and follow me on social media, I'll have my Snapchat and my Instagram right there. Make sure to go follow me on there. That way you know exactly when I'm posting, when it will be posted, and more times than not, I'll post what my video is going to be the day before I actually post it. So if you're following me on Snapchat, like today's Saturday when I record. I won't post until tomorrow on Sunday. So people who are following me on Snapchat will know what my video is before my video is actually posted. Make sure to give this video a like, subscribe, and if you're feeling up to it, go ahead and click the little notification bell. That way you get notified every time I post a video if you're not following me on social media already. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. I hope this was a good learning experience, and I hope you are getting into the vape trick community. I know it's a really fun thing to do, and it makes vaping all the more fun. So without further ado, take one last rip for you guys. Thanks for watching. Y'all have yourself a good rest of the day. Peace.